All right, time to multiply and divide monomials with me, Mr. Hain. All right, our essential question for today: how are multiplication and division of monomials like addition and subtraction? Mathematical practice one, persevere in problem solving. Some of these might take a long time. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. Like, when you multiply is like adding over and over again. And division is like subtracting and counting how many times you're subtracting over and over again. If you have me in the classroom, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to unpack that idea about how multiplication is adding over and over again. And division is like counting the number of times you subtract. So never fear. However, if you do not have me as a teacher, then go ahead and check out some of these ideas with other YouTubers or in your math textbook, or I encourage you to talk to your adult or your teacher. Right now, let's dive in. Okay, so let's review the product and quotient rules. As eighth graders, you guys should have kind of already seen this. But when in doubt, as always, expand out the problem. When in doubt, expand it out. So 5 squared is 5 times itself twice, times 5. I'm going to count the number of the 5s in the problem. That's 1, 2, 3. Skadoosh. It's just 5 to the third power. And did you notice something? Yeah, I did too. Really, all we did was just add the exponents. But wait, Mr. Hain, you didn't actually have an exponent here. If at home you are screaming at my bad impressions and also screaming at your screen saying that yes, if there is no exponent, the exponent is 1, you are correct. But let's dive into some more examples, and I'm going to encourage you to pause along the way to see if you are correct before we keep going. All right, let's take a look at example B. C to the third times C to the fifth. When in doubt, expand it out. Okay, pause the video and see if you get the same answer as me. We're back. Did you get, by adding the exponents, like C to the eighth? It's because you're a genius and you're correct and you understand what's happening in this review. So now I'm going to throw you a really awkward problem and see if I can knock you off of balance. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can solve this one on your own. And we're back. Oh my gosh, if you just said that you had to multiply the numbers and have -3 times 4 and that got you -12, and then just multiplied the exponents, which is like x squared times x to the fifth, and you added the 2 plus 5, and you just -12, and you added them, what was it, -12 times x to the seventh, you are correct. Because, that's all you have to do. Multiply each part. And here, these are monomials, so we are multiplying them. Excellent. All right, so now let's throw another monkey wrench into this and make it division for the example D. So as my little friends, the red letters at the top that don't stop moving say, when in doubt, expand it out. So that's 4 to the 8th. That's 8 fours on top and 2 fours on the bottom. And of course now, you can see that we can actually cancel some of these out. Yep, we can cancel 2 of those 4s. So really what's left is 6. 8, 2, and 6. If you are screaming at your screen and you're like, dude, that's just subtracting the exponents. 1, it could have been like you just fast forward in the video, but 2, that's because you're smart and you know it. This is just a review. So let's take a look at this one. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do this on your own while I take a sip of my beverage. We're back, and did you say n to the 5th power? Because like 9 minus 4 is 5. It's because you're smart and you know what you're doing. All right. So I got a crazy one. Let's see if you can just pause the video and try this one. Remember, the 2s are on their own, the 3s are on their own, the 5s are on their own. You got to put together everything we've talked about this. Pause as I take another sip, and you guys can do this work. All right. Did you get this by subtracting the exponents? So 5 minus 2, we always subtract the easy way. There is no exponent, so the exponent was 1. 5 to the 2 minus 1. And then the 8 is in the denominator, 3 to the 8th power, and it is larger than the 2, so I'm just going to leave it in the denominator. That's right. Did you just get 2 to the 3rd times 5 over 3 to the 6th? If you multiply this all the way out and got like, 40 over a gigantic number that I can't do in my head from the top of my head, don't worry about it. Leave them as exponents, they're fine. Sometimes in the other slides, you'll see me not leave as an exponent because it's just one number I'm raising to a power. Either way is acceptable in my class, but I don't know what your teacher is going to do if you're just following along at home. All right, let's keep on going. So the power of a power. So when I find the power of a power, you see 5 to the 2 times, or 2 to the third, so 5 squared to the third. So I'm raising it to the third power. I'm multiplying those numbers together, so I get 5 to the sixth. So if I have a power of a power, just like my example, what is my answer? 6 to the what power? What could it be? If you said 4 times 5, or like, I'm multiplying it out like 5 times here, so I only have like 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. See, this is what I was talking about way back in our essential question. Multiplication is repeated addition. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's 5 fours. And the way that we do this, and the way that you've learned to do this, is 5 times 4, which of course means that you multiply. It's just repeated addition. So I've got 4 times 5, which is the longest way possible of saying 6 to the 20th power. But this does indeed answer the first part of our essential question for today. Sweet! All right, let's, when you take a power of a power, in short, multiply those exponents. Power of a power, multiply exponents. All right, keep on moving. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and not do these examples. There will not be any answers in this video. You will have to do them on your own. I suggest that you pause. I will be here in about 5 seconds. Pause and check the work on your own. You will be okay. I've got faith in you and your abilities as a mathematician. Yes, 5 seconds have passed, and you should have checked those answers. Maybe use a calculator. I don't know. Boom. Here we go. Find the power of a product. Okay, so the big thing here is you look in our example, and you see, I'm sorry, I was just peeking ahead. I have 6x squared to the third power. Really, it's just distributing that exponent. So 3, there is no exponent, so the exponent is 1. So 3 times 1. And then I have x squared to the third. Okay, so 6 to the third power is 216, and 2 times 3 is 6. Sweet. All right. Like I said before, if you have 6 to the third power, I'm not going to hurt you if you're in my class. I mean, I don't know why I'd hurt you anyway. Probably just your grade. Running joke, don't worry. You'll find it funny later. So let's take a look at this example. So I've drawn some handy arrows to remind you to distribute. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can follow along and do it just like we did our example. I'll be back. And now time for my very bad Arnold impression. Yeah, you're back. So now if all you did was just, there's no exponent, so you multiply the exponent. Okay, I'm going to stop. So yeah, it's an invisible 1. You're correct. Did the multiplication, 3 to the 5th, 8 to the 10th. This is perfectly fine. But since our example said 216, which is 6 to the 3rd, I'm going to go ahead and multiply out 3 to the 5th, which of course is 243, 8 to the 10th. Sweet! All right, let's take a look at some other examples taking a power of a product. Remember, power of a product, distribute the power by multiplying the exponents. Multiply the exponents by taking the power of a power. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I am again not going to have the answers to these 3 problems. Go ahead and write them in your notes and show your work. You can leave the answers in exponent, especially if you're in my class. So go ahead and you do these. Did you check them in a calculator? Good, because the answers aren't going to be on the screen. All right, boom. Remember that if you're in my class, I am grading notes based on the work that you are doing, and especially for these problems that do not have an answer. All right, let's take a look at a final example, example M. All right, so this magazine offers a special service to its subscribers. If they scan the square logo shown on a smartphone, they can receive special offers from the magazine. Find the area of the logo. Okay, this logo is a square. They tell us it's a square. So if it's a square, really I'm multiplying it times itself, which is raising it to the second power. I am not going to have the answer. It's basically the same thing as these problems. So go ahead and do this work on your own. Show all of the steps. Show all of your work. And use your calculator if you need to. The right answer is right there. Kaboom! If you are in my class, write that summary. Make sure your table of contents is updated. Make sure all of the work is shown. Until next time, students, keep doing the math!